Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our Friday morning Bhagavad Gita reading session. Those of you who have joined us on Zoom, starting with Sutabha Mataji, Charu Mataji, and Sashi Prabhu, and also Vinu Koli Mataji, Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu, and Achita Radhe Mataji, Vidyavadu Mataji, Neha Mataji, and Anupam Das Prabhu is watching us on Facebook. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So let us get started, and we will get started with the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers today. After doing the obeisances to the special master. And I'm going to start sharing the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers with you, and let me know whether you're able to see it or not. Okay, Zoom share. Hare Krishna, Varshana Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Okay.
Mataji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Okay, can you see this? Can you
Yes,
see?
Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Awesome, awesome. So let's see who all are here on the call. Okay, we'll get started. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya
Vrandasya
Jnananjanashakaya
Lakaya
Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchikalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma na parahi na paradhi chakaschana parihare pilajame kim bhuve purushottama yuvati nam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvato yatha manobhi ramate tadvan manome ramatam tvai bhumau skalita padanam bhumireva valambanam Tvai jata paradhanam Tvameva sharanam prabhu Govinda vallabhe radhe Prarthaye tvam aham sada Tvadiyam iti janatu Govindo mam tvaya saha Radhe vrindavanadhishe Karunamrita vahini Kripaya nij padabja Dasyam mahayam pradiyatam. Okay, and let's see who have. Okay, Suyash Prabhu is there on the call. Suyash Prabhu, can you unmute yourself? And also, let me stop sharing here. And go into the share option here. I have to give you privileges to be able to share, right, Prabhu? If you can share the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and also give us the reading order here.
Oh, okay. We are not reading translation for a big adventure.
Yeah, you share.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just give me a minute.
Victoria Mataji, so good to see you. I know it means a lot for you. I know it's a lot of juggle and shuffle of your morning things because you start really early, like in the middle of the class you start. So I really, really appreciate all that you do to come and listen to Krishna Katha and also share your ideas and thoughts with us. Okay. So Sriyash Prabhu, maybe if you can in the reading order, let Victoria go in first because she leaves very early from the meeting.
Sure.
I have time today, Mataji. I can stay through the whole call.
You're going to give us more? This is our lucky day. Thank you. All right. And you are sharing something, I think, right?
I did share, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. And I'd like to welcome Mukesh Oja Prabhu also, who's joining us on the Facebook here. And yeah, let's do the translations. And today is a short day. Today is Friday because I have a meeting that I also need to go to. So I'm able to understand what Victoria Mataji goes through every day. And Neeral and Khyati, good to see you too.
Okay. We have a reading order. Charu Mataji, Niral Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu, spelling mistake ho gaya. Auto correct.
That's fine. I'm used to it. I'm very famous.
Charu Mataji, Niral Prabhu, Khyati Mataji, Shashika Prabhu, Victoria Mataji, Sutapa Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Suyash Mansi, Shraddha Mataji.
All right. Okay, so let's get going.
Hare Krishna. O Purushottama, O sinner, excuse me, Hare Krishna. O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in young men, and the minds of young men take pleasure in young women, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone. Hare Krishna.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Reflection time.
Give little service at your lotus feet.
All right.
Kripan Padabja.
Kripiya Padapa.
Let me take pleasure only you alone.
Let me take pleasure only in you alone, right?
Prathaye tam aham shada.
Prarthaye tvam aham sada. Very good.
Srimati Radharani, the beloved of Lord Govinda.
Yeah, it's always a good name to take. Anybody on the Facebook wants to share their reflections? I'm watching it. Okay, and we also have Aarti who joined us today. So Aarti, you'll be listening today, right? Okay. So Suyash Prabhu, yeah, I'll go after Aarti then, right? Mansi and then Aarti and then I. Okay, good. So will you show us the second chapter?
Yes. Shashika Prabhu.
Contents of Gita summarized. Sanjay said, seeing Arjun full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudan Krishna spoke the following words. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjun, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy.
O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading importance. It does not become you. Give up such pretty weakness of heart and arise, O chastier of the enemy. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy for my worship?
Text 5. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Text 6. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we killed the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Hare Krishna.
Now I am confused about my duty and I have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven.
Sanjay said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna.
Arti Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. Text 11, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you're mourning for what is not worth it of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the being nor for the death. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
As the embedded soul continuously passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Text 14, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and that disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O Shayan of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed.
Text 15. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both in certainly eligible for liberation. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existence, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. Hare Krishna.
Text 17. That which pervades the entire body you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata.
Text 19. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
O Parth, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same.
It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty armed.
Text 27. Roji, just scroll up. Yeah. Text 27. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So, what need is there for lamentation? Hare Krishna.
Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being.
Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets.
If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. People will speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death.
Text 35. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? So normally we have been stopping at 36, right? Like normally means yesterday and today. But I was thinking that, like I said, that in this chapter there are certain sections. And so there is Sankhya Yoga where he's talking about the Atma. And then he will talk about, how to act in Krishna consciousness. So I was thinking that to logically break, a better place to break would be, like 37, 38, like that. So let's do 37 and 38 also. And then 39 onwards, you'll do as the second half. So who goes in again?
I am Mataji.
Okay, perfect.
Text 37, O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planet, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Text 38, do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing, you shall never incur sin. Hare Krishna.
Good. So let's open the verse for today also. And while we're opening up, I'm just going to catch some of the reflections that came from Facebook on the Vigyapti prayers. So Matsamo Nasti Papatma is a big trender coming from Vidyavadu Mataji. And then Vinu Koli Mataji says that opening your mind. Yes, and opening your mind is all about, the Vigyapati Panchaka prayers is all about opening our mind in front of Radha Krishna, laying it bare, accepting our, anarthas that we have, and then praying for their mercy. Yeah, that's a good way for us to start the day. And then Atulya, Achyuta Radhe, sorry, always got to call her Atulya. Achyuta Radhe Mataji says that let my mind take a shelter on you. And then before we go deep into the next verse, which you are sharing, thank you, C.S. Prabhu, for doing that. Any words that struck your mind from these 38 verses that we read today?
Krishna is first, he's saying, why are you, after Arjuna asks so many questions, Krishna says, oh, intelligent man. He's smiling first and then saying, oh, you are the best among men.
Yeah. So notice Krishna is smiling.
Mataji, get up and fight without considering happiness and distress, loss or gain, and victory and defeat.
Very nice.
So you fight. I mean, and I was thinking in life also, we should think when we are doing something, we should be, if it is must, according to our, if it is in our nature and we have to do that, then we should do it without considering any happiness or distress.
Right. If it is in your dharma, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if it is in my nature, dharma.
Dharma. Okay.
Krishna says one must tolerate.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's some good news there, right? When we are tolerating, he does say that it won't become an infinite toleration for you, right?
So he's saying,
Arjuna prefers to live the life like begging than other than means the cost of great souls. He would prefer to live by the begging in this world.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it a big thing, huge thing for a Kshatriya to say that?
Yes,
Mhm.
it's
It's a very
just
interesting. There's a very interesting story that once, Bhima was going to get was supposed to go and get a golden flower, to a 1,000-petaled golden lotus, and they said, well, you get it in Kubera's. Kubera's lakes have got those. So he goes there, and of course, it's the same place where it's the same incidents where on the way he meets Hanuman also, and Hanuman's tail is lying across the road, and he just tells him that, hey, you old man, old monkey, you make way for me. And so Hanumanji says that, I'm very old and I'm very tired and very weak. Why don't you just lift my tail and just, set it aside on the road and then walk? And Bhim tries all his might and he's not able to lift it. And then he understands and says, are you my brother, Hanuman? Because they're both born from Pavan, right? Demigod Pavan. And then, so after doing that, so which is telling us that, okay, on the way, also we are seeing Bhim's personality. And then he goes to Kuber's lake and he sees the ponds there. And of course, Kubera's, people who work for him are also there. And so he goes and tries to take the lotus flower from there. And they said, no, you're not supposed to do that. You should first go and ask Kubera for it, take his permission and then do it. And Bhima says like, oh, I don't take any permissions. And then he puts up a big fight with all those people there, defeats all of them, and then takes the flower and goes away. So this instance is actually telling us the mood of a Kshatriya. That's what they are. They will never beg. But here Arjuna is saying that, I want to live by begging. Like that, yeah. It's a good point. Now, I think Neeral Prabhu had a question there. And also, Suyash Prabhu, we have still not done verse number 1 from yesterday. There are a couple of things I just want, I will just bring those up before we close today. Yeah.
Mataji, I was just thinking, there is just one line which says that this body, anyways, you're going to die. And after that, there's a long explanation about the soul. So he's focusing more on the positive and the one which is permanent.
Thank you so much for bringing from bringing out the fact that Krishna is talking about the permanent. Remember yesterday I was talking about the roadblocks that we can have, and also the mental blocks that we can have. And we also talked, and Preeti Radhika, I think, had brought up the point about how Vaisheshika Prabhu talks about thought substitution, right? So sometimes the kind of thought substitution that we are habitual of giving and which we imbibe from the environment is that, oh, so your boyfriend dumped you? Okay, now take out a gallon of ice cream and eat it. So that's a thought substitution they are doing. From the misery of having somebody you love dump you, you're trying to enjoy the ice cream. And so both the actions are on a mental, on a material plane. And so is there a thought substitution? Yes, there is a thought substitution. From the thought of the boyfriend, you're going into the thought of, oh, this strawberry ice cream or this piña colada, whatever other flavors. This is so very nice and I'm enjoying it. And then, of course, after a gallon of ice cream, you'll think, now I'm going to put on so much of weight. I'm going to get the second boyfriend, and so on and so forth. A complete entanglement in the material world. Right. And this happiness is again temporary. As soon as the jar or a can of ice cream is over, whatever you call them, bucket of ice cream is over, then the thoughts of boyfriend return again. So this type of thought substitution is not the right thought substitution. And that is the major thing that Gita does for us, is that Krishna is immediately trying to raise Arjuna's consciousness to something higher, and something, like you said, Neeral Prabhu, is that something which is permanent. And that is only spiritual. So immediately, very well noted, that immediately from the concept of body, Krishna is taking him to spiritual. From asat, he's taking to sat, something which is perishable, he's taking it to imperishable. And it is amazing. I was just thinking yesterday that how you live in a home, and like, where I live, the carpet has become old, so it is wearing out in some places. And I was thinking, yeah, it has not been changed for the last 20 years, so it'll wear out like that. And then I was thinking, whoa, it took 20 years for the carpet to wear out, but it's not like that. It's a constant wearing out. It's not that if 20 years another carpet starts falling to pieces. And similarly in our bodies also, right? Every second, every microsecond, the body is deteriorating. And one of the doctors, I knew, he always used to say that a child starts to become old as soon as he is born, right? So that's the kind of deterioration that we face in this material world. So focusing on the permanent is the way to go. And that's the kind of thought substitution we should be looking for, and not like, where is my bucket of ice cream? Let me enjoy some temporary thing. So both of them will go. Agam apaniyo anityas tam tatikshasya bharta martha sparshastu konteya. The 14 words he says that these are just from sense perception. You are getting these feelings of happiness and distress. You just learn to tolerate them, because they will come and go like seasons. And that's the good news, because we just get overwhelmed with the fact that this is happiness, and we try to cling to that material happiness. And there's a fear also that it will go away. But on the other hand, when the miseries come, we think that miseries are going to stay forever. I'm never going to get out of this ditch where I've fallen in. But that's not the fact. Those will also go away. This too shall pass. And so it's a nice thing to rely on when you are in a dire situation, when you are in a bad situation, to think that this too shall pass. And similarly, when you are in a happy position, also to be aware that this too shall pass. So both of them will end. And when you realize that and get into the habit of that, you will start your quest for something which is permanent. And why do you start your quest for something which is permanent? Is because you are permanent. That's the thing. We are all permanent. And that's why we crave for permanent things like that. So thank you so much, Neeral Prabhu. Your thoughts are going to go viral now.
In a good way, I hope.
I like that.
That means, Mataji, this is the body and soul relation in this chapter.
Yeah. Sankhya Yoga, body and the soul. Yeah.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. You just said that this too shall pass, the bad times, but good times also, like you just explained, that this too shall pass. If we can remember that, we try to remember bad time will pass, but in good times we don't remember that this too shall pass.
Yeah.
And like a season, another thing is coming. Then we can come to realization that, look, that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. Yeah, exactly. And I got some comments from the internet as well, so I'll just pick them up. Achyuta Radhe Mataji says that in this situation, please guide me what is best for me to do. And Arjuna is saying that to Krishna, which is always a good thing, to seek out to somebody who's at a higher level than you. And get up with determination is what Kohli Mataji liked, and also like to welcome Mathura Vas Prabhu and Mathura Prasad Prabhu and Raja Prabhu are watching us on Facebook here. Okay, so good. Any other thoughts? Any other comments? Any reflections on what we read? Anybody left we didn't cover, wants to say before we go into the chapter?
Mataji?
Yes, go ahead.
So Krishna tells Arjuna that even if you lose, you will go into the heavenly planets, and even if you win, you will have a kingdom to rule. So like friends saying, you don't have anything to lose over here, so don't worry, go ahead and do your job.
Win-win. It's a
win-win situation.
Yeah, for both the cases. Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
I think I was listening to in one of the lecture that Krishna uses Sam Dam Danda Bhed
to address this whole big case that he has put up in chapter 1, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he will address them one by one. You said this, okay, now here is what it is, handled spiritually. You said that, this is how it is handled spiritually. And he's going very slowly, right? Here, he's still, Krishna is saying, okay, you were talking about kinno, Raj kinno bhogena rajena. How I'm going to bhoga, I cannot do this and I cannot do that. So Krishna sometimes answers the question at that same plane. You're hovering on the material plane. Okay, let me answer it on the material plane. If, however, you think, then he will talk about that, So yes, Krishna, look at Krishna's wonderful approach, right? To answering the question. and doubts that Arjuna has raised. So, so yesterday we were talking about tam tata kripya vishnam ashtrupurna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvach madhusudana. So, and I had taken up some of the things from there, and I said there are a few more thoughts that I wanted to share with you. And so one of them was Madhusudan, right? And so Madhusudan is, we said that Madhu is, who is Madhu?
A demon he killed. Madhu's, he killed the demon Madhu, and that is why he's called a Madhusudana.
Right. So Sudan means to kill, right? Right. And Madhu was the name of the demon. So why is he addressed? He's addressed. Why is Sanjay saying Madhusudana? Because he's pointing out to Dhritarashtra that okay, fine, Arjuna has got some doubts in his mind, and he at this point he doesn't want to fight, but the Madhusudan is there with him on the same chariot, and he's going to kill all his doubts like that. So we look at Madhur, then Madhusudan is a term that is used as a killer of doubt. Now, other Vaishnavas and commentators, etc., also talk at it from a different perspective. And so one is the most famous one is that he's Madhusudan, he killed Madhu, doubts are like demons, so they'll also get killed, right? So then also he is Madhu. Madhu is not always bad, right? I mean, Madhu happens to be a demon, but Madhu has got some very sweet concoctions also, right? What is other meaning of Madhu?
Honey.
Shahad, mother, honey.
Shahad, honey, right? So Madhu also means that. So here also, who is acting as honey? Arjuna is the honey in the first chapter. He's talking all sweet things, right? What's going to happen to me? He's my teacher. He's my grandpa. Come on, grandpa. How can I kill you? And then what's going to happen to auntie? And what's going to happen to grandma after all these are dead, right? So he's talking about in a sweet, sweet thing. But he's a Kshatriya. He's not supposed to be behaving like that in the middle of a war, right? In that situation, he's not supposed to. So what he's doing is madhur vyavhar, right? He's doing sweet behavior. So Madhusudan is one who will remove the sweet behavior when it is not required for you to do the sweet behavior. So madhur vyavhar, right? From madhu comes madhur. So that's also explained as, Madhusudana means that one who will kill all these sweet nothings which are not required at that particular point of time. And then, as one of you pointed out, was that Krishna was smiling, right? You said that Krishna was smiling. He answers Arjuna. Prahasan is the Sanskrit word which is used in the chapter. And so Madhusudana also, Madhu also means the sweet smile, right? So sweet smile, Sudan. So how you kill with your sweet smile. So now Krishna is smiling at Arjuna. That smile is a very different smile, right? That smile is the smile of a spiritual master for his disciple, right? He's seeing that, okay? And smile is actually what you do is the beginning, and after that you're going to laugh, that's what it is. And they are friends. They can do that. They can say that, right? So Krishna is not worried. Like I said yesterday, Krishna is not worried that his main person is saying that I don't want to fight. It's not his thing, because Krishna knows in his head he has already planned. Paritranayam sadhunam vinashayasya duskritam. He knows I have come here for this agenda. God doesn't have to worry about can this be done or not be done. Whatever God thinks, that gets done, right? So he's not worried about whether the war will happen, will be won or not, whether goodness will prevail or not like that, right? So one thing which was pointed out here was that how do you kill with a smile, right? Madhusudana, like with a sweet smile, how do you kill, right? So now, of course, in the romantic arena where you come to hear about, people saying that, oh, she looked at me and she killed me with her eyes, and, or she killed me with her smile. So people say that, right? But here, what Krishna used to do is that during the Mahabharata war, if he saw, because he can see people coming at Arjuna, right? So people will be facing first Krishna, and then behind Krishna is Arjuna on the chariot. So Krishna would be able to see that people are coming. And of course, he would also know that Arjuna is fighting the whole day and now he's tired like that. So Krishna would know that Arjuna is tired and is not a good time for him to take on this particular enemy. So what Krishna would start doing is that he would start smiling at the enemy, smiling at the person from the Kaurava army side. And then because Krishna's smile is very bewildering. When people look at Krishna's smile, they get bewildered, and they would be so bewildered, they would be just struck, and they would stop fighting at all. And Arjun would wonder, what has happened to this person? Why is he not raising his hand? And he would say, come on, come on. But they would not do anything. And so then it became easier for Arjun to kill also there. So there are so many things out there in favor of Arjuna. Krishna's sweet smile, Krishna as the killer of the demon, and Krishna also as the killer of sweet behavior that Arjuna is actually entering into right now. So I just thought that, I will share that thing with you. And of course, Prabhupada also repeatedly talks about in the purport that compassion for the dress of a dead, right, body. So this is what matter is dead, right? The body is dead. It's only the soul which is inside it that animates the body. And so we should look at that also, right? And to look at that, where should the compassion really lie? And that is what takes you from the good cause to the greater cause. So sometimes, people, you might just think that, why is a person advising like that? Why did he not come and wipe my tears? I was in, complete disaster and things like that. But sometimes people will be strict with you because, and sometimes strictness is the compassion required at that time. That is the real compassion. Being strict, with a student, or being strict with the children, or with the progeny, like that. So I'll stop over here. My next meeting starts at 7:15, so I need to go there. So sorry to leave the meeting like that, but if there are thoughts, just please hold on to them, and we will take them up in our next class, which will be on Sunday, right? Our next Bhagavad Gita class will be on Sunday morning. And if needed, if there are more thoughts, etc., more discussion required, then we can continue with the chapter 2, verse number 1, and we'll just play it as it goes. Because Sunday also we have, so Friday and Sundays are small classes, right? So we'll do that. And today in the evening at 4 o'clock, we're going to have the Srimad Bhagavatam class. So those of you who are joining us for that, feel free to join. Again, we'll be broadcasting it on Facebook as well as on Zoom. And if you can stop sharing, Suyash Prabhu, then I will be able to see you all. Like that. Okay, good. All right, so could you all give me a Haribol?
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Haribol. Vanchikalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gopremanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Those of you who are on Zoom, as well as those of you who are joining us on the Facebook, Dandavat Pranams to all of you, and welcome and goodbye to Rishikesh Pandey Prabhu who joined, and I'm leaving. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Have a wonderful, fantastic Krishna conscious day.